What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Limitless Business Owners Podcast. My name is Andrew Giorgi, and I'm here with my co-host of the podcast, Dan Fisher. If this is your first time listening to the podcast, first of all, we want to welcome you. Okay, we're super excited to be on this journey, this business owner journey with you, and help you along the way. Okay, our whole goal with this podcast and really our passion in life is to bring the everyday business owner content and stories they can relate to, and also fresh new perspectives, fresh new mindsets, new thoughts, new ideas, strategies, tactics to help you grow your business. Okay, if you take one thing out of each episode and start implementing it into your life and business today, we promise you're going to start seeing massive growth. Let's hop into the show. Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another week of the Limitless Business Owners Podcast. I am here flying solo this week. It's just poor old me. Okay, Dan deserted me. He left me this week and left me to do this all alone. But no, actually, Dan is in Outer Banks on a family vacation. So I'm super, super excited for him to be able to recharge, rest, stay away from work. And recharge those batteries. It's needed for everyone. And it's actually something that we're going to be talking about today. It's not going to be a long episode by any means. And I'm not going to have Dan's wisdom pouring in, but I know this is going to be a game changer for a lot of people. It's been a game changer in my life, incorporating rest and rejuvenation and making sure I'm recharged, ready to go. So I'm lighter. So I'm a better version of me. Right? I don't always have to be going nonstop to accomplish more. Okay. And if you see me looking off to the left or down, I'm looking at notes. Okay. I have notes like I do every week, but I set my stuff up a little bit differently this week. So I'm trying it out while I'm flying solo. I probably should have stuck to what I normally do, but I said, hey, I'm alone this week, so let's try something new. Okay. One of the biggest problems and biggest inhibitors I see, and really this is in society, but it's business owners, because we are go-getters, we are typically the ones that push, is we have this thinking to accomplish more, I have to work more. And while there is some truth to that, right? Like we do have to work hard. We do have to put the hours in. Right. I also believe that this is the biggest lie and misconception in the industry and just among high-level people in general. Right. And if I were to ask you a question, if you work hard but do the wrong things, will that lead to results? That answer is no. You can work hard, right? You can work long hours, but you could be doing the wrong things and trying the wrong solution, and you're not going to solve the problem that you're trying to solve. Right? So why do we feel like we have to do more? Why is our first resort to grind harder, to push harder, to put more hours in? I got to just go more. Why is that our first reaction? Okay. And I know I've had these moments before where, and I'm not preached like this is my first thing. You can go ask my wife. It's my first thing is like, I'm going to bust through this wall. I talked about it in last week's episode. I'm just gonna grind through it. I'm just gonna push through it, and that's not always the best solution. So this is kind of a part 2 to last week's episode. Okay, we are going to be talking some about environment, but really we're going to be talking about how to accomplish more. 3 keys to accomplishing more. Okay, have you ever had one of those moments where you couldn't figure something out? I actually had this the other day. I couldn't figure something out. I think I was putting something up in my baby's room. And I just couldn't figure it out. I got flustered. I got frustrated, and it didn't help. Right now, I had two solutions I could have done there. I could have kept going, and I probably actually would have broke it because I was getting so frustrated. Or I could step away. Okay, come back to it the next day, and maybe attack it with some fresh perspective. Okay, so that's exactly what I did. I chose to. I did get frustrated, but I said, we're going to try this another day. And I did it the next day, and I did it in 5 minutes. Everything went great. It was done. Something that was taking me a while took me 5 minutes the next day. And I know we've all had those moments where we've had that option of like, hey, I'm going to come back to this because I think I can figure this out on a fresh brain, right? and you actually figure it out in like 1/10 of the time it would have taken you before. Okay. And society teaches us that we have to be busy, right? Everyone is busy, busy, busy. I work a lot, busy. Like I said, I'm a culprit of this too. And we have fallen in love with busy. We have fallen in love with work because we're chasing. We're constantly chasing. We're chasing. Some people chase the dollar. Some people chase the wrong things in life, right? We've fallen in love with busy. And we've drastically confused busy with effective. We've drastically confused busy with productive. Okay. And now there is some truth, right? We do have to work hard. We all know that, right? But we tend to confuse working hard with working longer. Okay. These are not the same thing, right? Working hard is about quality. It's about intensity, right? That's a measurement of working hard, is the quality and intensity while I'm working. Working long is quantity, right? So I think when people say, hey, you got to work hard, they think, oh, I got to work 16 hours a day. Now, hey, you might have to put that in one day, right? But that's working long. That's not working hard, okay? We are addicted to busy and work, right? It makes us feel important. It makes us feel productive. I know we've all been in that spot. I know I've been in the spot where it's like, hey, if I'm busy, I'm feeling good about myself because stuff is taking up my time, right? Now I want you to kind of listen to that. Stuff is taking up my time. What is our number one resource in life? It's not money. It's time. We have limited time, okay? So why do I want stuff taking my time? Don't I want to control my time to accomplish things and get good results? So it's a switch, and it's an intentional thing that we have to do. Okay. There's this book my wife's reading right now, or actually where a lot of this is coming through. And I think it's called like the Ruthless. Let me find it really fast. 1 second. It is called The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. She's been teaching me a lot from it. And it talks about a lot of this, talks about busy, how we're addicted to busy. And you know how it takes you a couple of weeks to unwind when you go on vacation? I like I said, I'm that way too. I go on vacation. It takes me like 2 days to like get in vacation mode. And it's kind of like detoxing from this crazy society and culture that we live in, that everything wants to take up our time. Okay. And this book has been changing our worldview, right? We talked about that last week. The information you take in can change your worldview, changing our worldview on how we approach our time, right? Our time is so important. We have a little one, right? We have family. We have goals that we want to hit. Yeah, those are important, right? But we're not making busyness and hurry more important than what it should be. Okay? And our feelings can deceive us. Okay? We want to feel important. Busy makes us feel important. Busy makes us feel productive, right? But 99% of the time when we're that way, it's not, our feelings are deceiving us, right? It's really not making us more important. And working longer doesn't mean we're being productive. So our feelings can deceive us, and we have to recognize that. Okay, you have to recognize that my feelings can be wrong, and I have to understand and ground myself with information. And that's what's in the iPad right now. That's what all my notes are, is information, right? Things that I've learned from people that are way smarter than me. Okay. And what I found is working more is actually counterproductive to solving problems. Okay. And I don't know about you, but my goal is to solve problems for people, problems in the market, right? I want to be a problem solver. I want to bring good solutions to people, right? I don't want to be just busy. I want to solve problems. And we attack solving problems wrong. And we're going to go deeper in this in other episodes too. Like I'm big on how do we attack problems? How do we solve problems, right? That's your goal. As a leader, that's your goal. You're solving problems. You're getting your team together. You're solving problems, right? As a business owner, you're getting your team together. You're solving problems, right? Solving problems for customers, clients, for hangups in your business, right? You're solving problems, and we attack it wrong, right? kind of that brick wall analogy I used earlier. That's how we like to attack it. Like, hey, like it's just built in. I don't know. It's a business owner thing, but we just say, hey, we're going to plow through this. Like, I'm going to go through this brick wall and it's going to hurt, but we're going to be good. There's a time and place for that, right? But I think it's way overused, and I think there's better things to do. Actually, the best thing to do is to create leverage. Okay. I remember when I was younger, I was trying to pry something. I don't know. I was helping my dad with something. I was trying to pry something and I couldn't get it. Just couldn't get it. And he's a mechanic. He knows how to create leverage. So he said, hey, do this. And he showed me what I can do to create leverage. And I barely had to pull. So I was trying to pull so hard, struggling, couldn't get it. He said, hey, add this piece on here and now pull. And I pulled and I think I was trying to undo a nut or something like that. And it came off. And I learned to use leverage in that moment. I was struggling, pulling as hard as I could. Right? But the smarter way is to use leverage. He had the experience. Guarantee you he struggled one time before and someone showed him how to leverage. Right? So creating leverage is smarter. It's the smarter way to go about things. Right? It's taking the load off of us, taking our struggle, taking our problems, and increases our strength, which allows us to have greater output, right? And that's my goal, is to have greater output with less effort. I don't know anyone that's going to say, hey, I wish I had to work harder for that, or I wish I had to do more. I wish I had to struggle more for that. Most people are like, hey, if I can find leverage and take work off, that's the goal. Okay. So, and I'm not the only one who's saying this, right? I got a lot of this from studies, from people, from scientists that are, like I said, way smarter than I am. And they're saying that, hey, working more doesn't equal productive. Equals busy, doesn't equal productive. Okay. So are we shooting for busy, or are we shooting for effective? Are we shooting for productive? Okay. And this is a switch I hope you guys can make along your journey. I want you guys to analyze. I want you guys to look at your life and say, hey, am I working harder and not smarter? Am I not creating leverage? Am I not taking time? Am I being busy and not effective? Because I promise you could probably get done what you need to get done in like 40% of the time. And you will have a better quality of life. It'll drastically impact your quality of life. Okay. When we need breakthrough, it's not just about busting through the wall. Okay. Sometimes it's about creating the space to figure it out. Go back to that analogy of, attacking something the next day, right? Couldn't figure it out now, but the next day I got it just like that. That is because I created the space to think about, create solutions, solve problems in my head. I opened up space to where the next day I could go attack and then solve it in a fraction of the time. Okay. So when we need breakthrough, it's not about busting through that wall. Okay. Sometimes it's about creating that space to figure out the solution that can bust through the wall. Okay. So I don't know about you, but if I tried running through a brick wall, I would fail. It would hurt pretty bad. We could probably all agree about that. But if I got some sort of large machine, some sort of big tractor, some sort of something that will just plow through that wall, I could easily go through the wall, right? If I wanted to take that wall, I would have to hammer, I would have to do a lot of things, but I could just go with a machine and go through it, right? That is what I'm talking about, creating that leverage. We want to work smarter, not harder. Okay. And I know we've heard that thousands of times, but our default is to work harder and not smarter. We tend to think we just got this right now, right? And like I said, this is a good piggyback from the last episode, which is the power environment. So if you haven't made it to listen to that episode yet, go back and listen to it right now. Stop this episode, go back and listen, okay? Because that episode talks a lot about power environments and willpower, and this is a piggyback off of that, okay? And really today, I wanted to talk about the space to think and create solutions, right? We have to create that time in our life to sit down and think, okay? Our most creative thoughts, which are the type of thoughts that create solutions, right, typically don't happen when we're working. Actually, statistically, neuroscientists, like I said, guys a lot smarter than me, say that only 16% of our creative thoughts and mental breakthroughs happen while we are working. Okay. Only 16% happen while we are working. That's a lot of working harder, not smarter, right? I want to do the opposite. So that means I have to create time. That means the other 84% of our creative thoughts happen while we are resting, right? We are in a rest state. We've released the demand and stress off of us. We've entered a rest state, and it allows us to think differently, right? So that's going to be the power of environment. Okay. So let's get tactical. Okay. Key number one, I have 3 keys for you. Great. Key number 1 is all about environments. Okay. So you have to create 2 environments for yourself. All right. Environment number 1 is you have to have a demanding environment. This is your workplace. This is where you are going to go and put some sort of stress on your body or your mind. Okay. It's going to demand something of you. This is where your brain will associate work and stress with. Okay. And most people, all they have is a demanding environment. They only have this first environment. That's all they have. Okay. They have nothing else. They think I have to live in this demand environment 24/7 to get my dreams, to accomplish my goals, to accomplish more. And that is wrong thinking. Okay. We have to implement a second environment. Okay. The second environment is a rest environment. Okay. This is where you will detox. This is where you're going to open up space to think of new solutions, think of new ways to make breakthroughs, mental breakthroughs, right? We need an environment to recoup, to rejuvenate, right? And you will actually see that you will accomplish just as much, if not more, in your demand and stress environment if you start implementing a rest and rejuvenation environment. You have to start resting. You have to create at least a day to rest, right? And don't go to the office. Like I have my office at home, so I don't, this is my demand zone. I don't come here to relax, right? Our brains associate environments with different things. It puts them in different states, it triggers certain emotions, right? So we have to make sure we put ourselves in the right environment to be the most productive and effective. So you're going to have one environment, demand environment for work, right? Then you're going to have another environment to rest, and you have to do that. I know way too many people that are just go, 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 and they're just depleted. They're just unhappy. They're just like missing something on the inside. And it's like, you need to slow down. And I guarantee you will accomplish everything that you accomplish because you're just empty. You will accomplish that in a fraction of the time if you actually rest and practice rest, right? So everything we talk about here is going to be the other keys is you have to have some sort of rest environment. Okay. Key number 2, you have to try something like the Pomodoro technique. Okay. This is a technique where you break your day into 25-minute work chunks, and then you take 5-minute breaks in between. And some people will be like, well, that's impossible. I can't do that. Okay. Then do 40 minutes and 5. Do something. Give your brain that reset, that rest, small rest, right? You will accomplish more in that 40 minutes than you would the 45 minutes of working, right? You're going to recharge for the next 40 minutes. Guarantee you start seeing productivity go up and efficiency go up. You'll be way more effective that way, right? But you have to try it. You have to do it, right? You want a different result, but you want to keep going the same way. And you're not going to get it. You got to try something different. Have to try something different. Okay, so try something. Key number 2 is try something like the Pomodoro technique. There's several apps. Okay. I have an app where I try to grow like trees. It's called Forest, I believe. And, I turn it on and plants grow, trees grow. Okay. So then it tells me when I need to rest. It's my pure focus time. Right. And then I rest. Okay. That 5 minutes does wonders for the next 25 minutes. That 5 minutes helps my brain reset, recharge. Even when I was getting ready for the podcast, I had notes. Like I said, I create notes. And I was trying to put everything down, get everything out of my brain down on here so I can deliver to you guys. And I forgot something. I was like, man, where did that thought go? You know what I did? I took a break. When I start forgetting, it tells me maybe I've taxed myself too much, right? You have to learn some self-awareness. Took a break, 5-10 minute break. And guess what? Popped right back in my head. I created space, right? I created space, okay? And then the last key is you have to place an extreme importance on thinking. Okay, thinking and working. We're seeing this, that I've told you guys, this two separate things, right? Only 16% of your creative thoughts and mental breakthroughs happen while you're working. So that means typically we're not thinking creatively. We're not thinking for solutions when we're working, right? And that's what society teaches us. Society says you got to be busy or you're not important. You got to be doing things or you're not important. Okay, you got to be go, 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 go. How many things can you fit on your to-do list? How many things? That's what society's telling us. Keep adding on. Keep adding the action items. Great. Did you know you could probably only get, just so you know, if you're putting like 10 things on your to-do list, you probably only accomplish like 3 to 5 of them a day, right? We actually have a business owner planner that we created that literally for that day, you're only allowed to put like 5 things on there. That's your day. Okay. So you have to place an extreme importance on thinking because society doesn't. Society is not going to push you to think. Society's going to do the opposite, right? They're going to push you to not think. They're going to push you to be reactive. That's average. Average is reacting. Average is not thinking. Average is just going through life, not even oblivious to what you want, and you're going to float through life, and it ends up not in a good place. It ends up in an unhappy place, right? You want to be proactive. We don't want to be reactive. We want to be proactive with our thoughts. Okay? And so if society is constantly, if that's the opposite, if the average around us is the opposite of, hey, we're not going to place an importance on thinking. In fact, we're going to place importance on doing, which is great. We need to do. We need to take action, but you need to think as well. Okay? So if that's surrounding us, that means we have to place an extreme importance on thinking to overcompensate what everything else around us is telling. You have to remind yourself, I got to think. Some of the best, highest level performing people, right? They place an importance on thinking. Bill Gates, regardless of what you want to think conspiracy theory wise of Bill Gates, that dude has think weeks, leaves his home, goes someplace else. He has think weeks, brings books, right? He's creating space to create solutions. And that dude solves problems. Okay. That guy solves a lot of problems. Right. And there's this book called The Magic of Thinking Big. And I'm trying to see my notes here. I don't think I put it in here, but The Magic of Thinking Big. Okay. We have to create time to think daily, right? And the best of the best actually do it many times a day. The highest performers actually do this thousands of times a day in many chunks, right? They create think blocks. They create space to think, to connect with something deeper. But in this book, it says, leaders, like, we have to place an importance on going away and having alone time and thinking, right? And they will go through a lot of people, Jesus, I use Jesus because that's who I believe in. He would step away and he would connect in prayer with God, and that's this right here. Got a way to think, got a way to connect, got a way to recharge. Okay. So key number 3, place an extreme importance on thinking and make sure you implement think blocks in your day, right? If you're a business owner, I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you right now to start putting in your calendar an hour, 30 minutes, an hour to think every single day. Whether you start your day off doing it, I would say kind of do it midday. I actually do it morning and afternoon, right? And it helps you start creating solutions, helps you start to think. That's our goal, is to think and create solutions, right? Your life will start getting better, I promise. Okay. And as you implement these 3 keys, actually, I'm going to beg you, right? I'm going to beg, if I have to, I will beg you to implement these 3 keys, test them out, start creating space in your life, right? And start understanding that, hey, am I being busy or am I being effective? Okay. And it's not working harder, it's working smarter, right? And we need to please stop wearing busy as a badge of honor. Okay. We can accomplish more by doing less. I know that's my goal. But there's going to be days where you have to work harder. You have to work longer, but there's going to be a lot of times, a lot of problems in our life where we can solve by working smarter. Until next time, guys. Hey, if you haven't rated or reviewed the show yet, please take 2 to 3 minutes to do so right now on whatever platform you listen on. It really helps the show rank better when people are searching for new podcasts to listen to. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook, where we post daily clips from the episode. And then we're just going to ask you to share those clips, right? You never know who of your friends are going to see that clip, and then they're going to start listening to the episode, and then their life changes because they hear something that really helps them overcome a challenge that they're experiencing in their business. It's really going to help them create breakthrough in their business and become limitless. Also, one last thing, right now we are offering a free 7-day trial into our Inner Circle group, Limitless Business Owners Inner Circle. And inside this elite group, you get to learn how you can experience immense, consistent growth inside your business, where you learn the strategies and tactics to grow your business, right? Surround yourself with like-minded people, other business owners that are experiencing what you're experiencing, that are going through it right now, that you can build key relationships with and learn from. And also some people ahead of you that can also teach you something that's going to help you overcome something in your business right now. And then last thing, you can leverage the strategies and tactics it takes to build your dreams and fulfill your purpose. Talk soon.